Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Morris. I'm going to be talking about Theory Application 1 today, Creativity in Business, and my chosen company is the Walt Disney Company. Just as a quick reminder, the questions we're looking to answer on Theory Application 1 are: what traits appear to make individuals most creative? Are these the same traits that lead to successful inventions? How could firms identify people with greater capacity for creativity or inventiveness in their hiring procedures? And to what degree do you think the creativity of the firm is a function of the creativity of individuals versus the structure, routines, incentives, and culture of the firm? So before I go into that, I just want to give a quick company introduction. The Walt Disney Company is a huge parent company with many different segments under its wide umbrella. Some of those are studio entertainment, media networks, parks, experiences and products, consumer products, interactive, and corporate. I'm going to be focusing on parks, experiences, and products, which includes Disneyland, the Walt Disney World Resort, the Disney Cruise Line, and Imagineering. Imagineering is the creative engine that designs and builds all Disney theme parks, resorts, attractions, and cruise ships worldwide, and oversees the creative aspects of Disney games, merchandise product development, and publishing businesses. I landed on Imagineering specifically within the Walt Disney Company because they are a huge project management based organization. They have dedicated teams devoted to all of the projects currently in their portfolio. So I thought it was a great option to showcase what we're discussing today. So first I want to talk about how Imagineering identifies creativity. In our Theory Application 1 resource from Harvard Business Review, there is considerable discussion around the recipe for, quote, secret sauce for innovation leadership. And those three ingredients are: number one, creativity and innovation. And then the other two ingredients are the two factors that lead to creativity and innovation, which are voice and knowledge sharing. For creativity and innovation, I want to talk about the Imaginations Design Competition. This is really an internship pipeline that was started in 1991, and it has been duplicated around the world in Shanghai and Hong Kong. And what this is a competition for talented up-and-coming college students to share their most creative ideas, with many of the best being offered an internship with Imagineering. So we can see that pipeline there of getting the most creative individuals into the firm. And then for the other two ingredients, voice and knowledge sharing, I want to talk about the Imagineering creative process. The first step here is blue sky, which answers what could it be. During this stage, no idea is too big, too small, too outlandish, too anything. The second is concept, which answers what is it. Third is feasibility, which answers what will it take to make it real. The fourth is design, which answers what are the details that bring it to life. Next is production, or how do we build it. Next is installation, or how does it all fit together. And then lastly is opening day. And opening day answers how did we do. This includes debriefing on performance, making sure any necessary resources are very well documented and have been shared to everyone who might need those resources. And I want to call out the most important step after opening day is having passionate individuals who circle back to blue sky to start on their next project, their next big idea. And so I would also be remiss not to call out the similarities between this creative process and the project lifecycle, which is selecting and initiating, planning, executing, and then closing and realizing. So let's talk about specifically some traits for creativity. I did try to tailor this to Imagineering specifically. So first we have those that are imaginative. Dreamers are the ones that dream up the biggest, brightest new possibilities. And one of my favorite Walt Disney quotes is, if you can dream it, you can do it. Obviously that falls very well in line with, this need for creativity. Next up is those that are passionate. Passionate individuals tend to be extremely thorough, and that is absolutely a necessity given Imagineering's creative process. Next up is those that are curious. Curiosity leads to learning new things, and it leads to asking more questions. Those that are bold and adventurous, they're willing to take big risks, for big payoffs. Those that are open-minded are extremely approachable, and they foster collaboration. And those that are ambitious and tenacious are extremely disciplined, and they're great at making complex routines more manageable. Now I want to talk about how each of those lends itself to invention. If we're thinking about Imagineering and the idea of imagination, nothing new came to be without imagination and creativity. And inventors are really able to view creativity and imagination through a lens of strategic thinking, which, if we think back to Imagineering's creative process, falls directly in line with that. Passion leads to persistence, and persistence is absolutely needed to get through all the stages of trial and error, each iteration of a design to find the one that's perfect. Next up, those that are curious. Curiosity leads to motivation. Motivation leads to engagement, and then engagement leads to follow through. I think all four of those things in that process are crucial to the idea of creativity and invention. Next up, those that are bold and adventurous, they have a vision that they are passionate about, and they are willing to take the calculated risks to achieve their vision. I think that specifically is so important to invention. Open-mindedness means that all ideas can pose potential solutions. And again, when you're looking at invention, that is crucial. And lastly, those that are tenacious are very goal-oriented, and that tenacity and setting those goals leads to finding solutions. So I think that that's how each of the 6 of those traits for creativity really speak and lend themselves to invention. So for Imagineering specifically, I think how they can Imagineer a better future, if you will, is put less emphasis on applicant portfolios. Right now that is a huge factor in their hiring. And while prior accomplishments in their portfolio can be a great measure of technical ability or artistry, it does not always mean someone is a culture fit. And given that the blue sky mentality is so important to what Imagineering does, I think there needs to be more emphasis on this in their hiring. If blue sky is the cornerstone, then they absolutely have to give more consideration to those with the most innovative ideas. That's going to serve Imagineering very well. Specifically, how can they accomplish that? I want to call out diversity, and I want to call out looking for a skill balance when hiring. For diversity, I'm going to go back to our Theory Application 1 article and pull out a quote from Pixar that I think is a great representation of this. That quote is, "Tens of thousands of ideas with suggestions stemming from each member of the 200 to 250 person group." This diversity of ideas, making sure everyone is able to voice those ideas, share their knowledge with one another, that is extremely important. And so I think that if they value that diversity in their hiring, it would be great for them. And then the second is looking for skill balance when hiring. And this is just all about balancing strengths and opportunities amongst their team. This is obviously important for any company, but I really think that given Imagineering's drive to creative process, everything like that, strength and opportunities have to be well balanced. And so diversifying hiring means that new and different ideas flow freely while remaining connected to the company's culture of voice and knowledge sharing. And so I also just want to touch on the creativity of the firm versus individuals. I think pretty much across the board, this is a pretty even split. Both are vitally important, but especially within Imagineering. Creativity is nothing without imaginative, passionate, curious individuals. That is inherent to successful innovation and invention. And then those creative individuals must be backed up and supported by the firm through structure, incentives, and culture. I also just want to call out some of the best practices that are listed in our theory application article. Developing the right group norms, designing teams strategically, show support as a leader, and display organizational support. All of these are things that Imagineering is already doing, and they do incredibly well to uphold their culture. These are just some quick references that were used in today's presentation, and I want to thank you all for joining. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful day.